Colin Wright was a high-ranking member of an organized crime group, known for his meticulous illegal operation that thrived during the COVID-19 pandemic. He made millions, drawing the attention of the National Crime Agency in the United Kingdom. The Crime Agency, established on October 7, 2013, is the UK's lead agency in the fight against serious and organized crime. Similar to the FBI in the United States, its main role is to tackle serious crime by coordinating efforts across various law enforcement agencies. At the time of Colin Wright's arrest, the head of the crime agency was Graham Bigger, who succeeded Lynn Owens in 2021. Today, we are delving into the rise and fall of Colin Wright, a man whose illegal operation could rival the narcos of Colombia and Mexico, and the vast network of high-risk substances he distributed across the UK. This is the story of one of the most notorious gangsters in recent British history. Born in 1986, Colin Wright grew up in Motherwell, a large town in North Lanarkshire, Scotland, about 12 miles southeast of Glasgow. During his formative years from 1999 to 2012, Motherwell faced economic challenges due to the decline of its once thriving steel industry, including the closure of the Ravenscraig steelworks. Efforts at regeneration were underway, with new infrastructure projects and community programs to support those affected by economic hardship. Despite these efforts, social issues like crime and substance abuse were prevalent, creating an environment that may have influenced Wright's later involvement in organized crime. His early life remains largely unknown, with few details about his family or upbringing. Colin Wright began as a small-time illegal goods distributor in the late 1990s. His big break came when he connected with established crime bosses from Liverpool, most notably Terence and Stephen Earle. These men played crucial roles in the logistics and management of the drug trade. Terence Earle, a 50-year-old senior member of the organized crime group, was heavily involved in the trafficking of illegal substances and controlled substances between England and Scotland. He worked closely with Colin Wright to manage the distribution routes for these drugs, posing a significant threat to public safety. Terence also oversaw an illicit substances production lab in Motherwell, which he managed alongside Wright. They communicated through encrypted messaging services, ensuring their operations ran smoothly and stayed undetected. In April 2023, Terence was sentenced to 16.5 years in prison for his involvement in these high-risk activities. Stephen Earle, Terence's 52-year-old cousin, also played a key role within the organized crime group OCG. He was responsible for coordinating the shipment of significant quantities of illegal substances and controlled substances, at least 10 kilograms of illegal substances and 7 kilograms of controlled substances, alongside his cousin Terence and Colin Wright. In an attempt to evade law enforcement, Stephen relocated to Portugal but was eventually extradited back to the UK due to international agency cooperation. In August 2024, he was sentenced to 11 years and 4 months in prison for his role in the conspiracy to supply high-risk substances. His collaboration with Terence and Wright solidified the group's operations, ensuring the distribution routes functioned effectively. Together, the Earle cousins and Colin Wright formed the backbone of a sophisticated illegal distribution activities network, relying heavily on encrypted communications through platforms like Encrochat to conduct their illicit activities. This network was well organized, with the establishment of an illicit substances lab in Motherwell being one of their more significant undertakings. Additionally, they coordinated the movement of illegal substances from Merseyside to Scotland and controlled substances from Scotland back to England, utilizing advanced methods to source drugs and manage the logistics of their supply chain. Their efforts showcased a high degree of operational planning, although ultimately it was their reliance on encrypted communications and the cooperative efforts of law enforcement that led to their downfall. Colin Wright's organized crime group, OCG, operated a sophisticated illegal distribution activities network, focusing on the production and distribution of amphetamines, illegal substances, and controlled substances. Central to their operations was an illicit substances lab established in Motherwell, Scotland, during the UK's first COVID-19 lockdown in March 2020, a period when reduced law enforcement scrutiny enabled their activities. Using chemicals like alpha-phenyl acetoacetamide, APAA, sourced through criminal associates, the group overcame challenges in obtaining necessary solvents to set up production. Communications among gang members revealed their success in preparing the lab, verified through exchange photos of the produced amphetamines. The OCG trafficked at least 10 kilograms of illegal substances from Merseyside to Scotland and transported 7 kilograms of controlled substances in the reverse direction, highlighting their extensive distribution network. Encrypted platforms like Encrochat facilitated secure communication, ensuring operational secrecy, while vehicles and couriers were employed to transport drugs. Like many criminal organizations, the group likely exploited vulnerable individuals in roles such as drug mules or lookouts, further complicating law enforcement efforts to dismantle their operations. Operation Venetic, a landmark UK-led investigation targeting organized crime, focused on the infiltration of the encrypted communication platform Encrochat. This platform, used exclusively by criminals for coordinating activities such as illegal distribution activities, money laundering, and violent crime, was infiltrated in July 2020 by an international law enforcement team, including agencies from France and the Netherlands. The operation provided access to millions of messages and images from Encrochat's 60,000 global users, including 10,000 in the UK, offering invaluable intelligence for the National Crime Agency, and regional police forces. As a result, over 3,147 suspects were arrested, 1,240 offenders convicted, and significant seizures made, including $54 million in criminal cash, 77 firearms, and more than 2 tons of drugs. The crime agency played a central role in coordinating efforts with regional organized crime units, ROCUs, and international partners, deploying over 500 officers to identify and apprehend key players in criminal networks. The operation disrupted organized crime at all levels, safeguarding communities from the violence and exploitation tied to illegal distribution activities. Among those targeted was Colin Wright, a high-profile member of an organized crime group involved in illegal substances and controlled substances trafficking. Wright fled to Spain in August 2020 after his associates were arrested in March 2021. However, in March 2024, he was captured by Spanish National Police at the request of the crime agency. Wright was extradited to the UK on October 4, 2024, where he faced serious charges related to illegal activities, marking another significant success under Operation Venetic's efforts to dismantle organized crime networks. Colin Wright's legal proceedings and the broader impact of his criminal activities underscore the severe consequences of organized crime in the UK. Wright faced 5 illegal distribution activities charges for his role in an organized crime group, OCG, that trafficked illegal substances and controlled substances and operated an illicit substances lab in Motherwell, Scotland. On November 1, 2024, he pleaded guilty to all charges at Liverpool Crown Court, acknowledging his involvement in the production and distribution of controlled substances. His sentencing, scheduled for November 25, 2024, will determine the length of his imprisonment and additional penalties for his crimes. Wright's operations inflicted significant harm on communities in Scotland and Merseyside, fueling local drug markets and contributing to addiction, violence, and exploitation. According to crime agency branch commander John Sayers, Wright's OCG posed a severe threat to public safety, exacerbating social issues in affected areas. The successful prosecution of Wright and his associates is a critical victory in safeguarding these communities from further harm. This case highlights the effectiveness of law enforcement initiatives like Operation Venetic, which successfully infiltrated encrypted communication platforms such as Encrochat, leading to significant arrests and convictions. Wright's eventual arrest and extradition from Spain demonstrate that no refuge exists for those attempting to evade justice. His prosecution serves as a reminder of the ongoing challenges posed by organized crime and the importance of continued collaboration among law enforcement agencies to disrupt criminal networks and protect vulnerable communities.